welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be completely different. It is definitely a video completely out of left field from things I've never done on my channel before. I wanted to share my aha moment with all of you, and hopefully the video today will inspire you and ignite some creativity within you. And also for the upcoming year, if you are also looking for alternatives, it will help you save money as well. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So last week, a few days ago, I shared with you what I was going to be moving into for the remainder of the year and for the foreseeable future, because I just wasn't really vibing with how I was using my bullet journal. I wasn't really tackling tasks as well. And ultimately, I just got bored with the fact that what I'm doing looks very similar to what everyone else is doing. And not that I'm trying to copy other people, but I just didn't like that. When I'm struggling and I need to figure out ways to do something better, if everyone else is doing somewhat of the same thing, it doesn't really help. So I just started looking at some of my older videos, kind of going through some of my things and figuring out what could I do to help myself. So I went back into my Filofax. That is something that I will be using for October through the first 3 months of 2026. And I think that it will help me. I'm hoping that it will help me tackle some goals. Aside from that, I took a lot of the things that I was doing within my bullet journal, like home-based tasks, things like that, and I created a home binder. And I did go ahead and buy a 1.5-inch ring binder for the contents of my home binder, or my home planner essentially, because what I was adding into it just exceeded the 1-inch rings. And so I swapped the binders out. So originally this was the home binder, and I've now swapped the contents from that binder from this binder into the 1.5-inch. So I had this binder just sitting, and I was just like, how about we just do something completely out of left field and set it up and see what we get. So I came up with this idea, like, okay, well, I really, like, after I set up my home planner, I really liked the idea that the inserts that I put into it were completely usable. Like, I just liked the idea that they were simple yet practical. I liked that there were so many options to choose from in terms of color. Like, you could have like rainbow colors, pastel colors, black and white, all pink. Like, I just liked the idea that there were so many options. I liked the idea that there were different start days. You could start on a Monday, or you could have a Sunday, or a Sunday start. I like the idea that you could get some of them dated, or you could get them undated. A lot of them are undated. I just loved that flexibility. I liked the idea that there were different layouts for, you could have a timed weekly, you could have a horizontal weekly, you could have a week on one page, you could have, like, there were just so many options. You get what I'm saying? But I didn't realize that I could do a lot of the things with just a simple principle. Like, I didn't have to spend any money aside from the binder itself and the pocket folders, which you can get pretty much inexpensive from, like, you can order them, or you could go to like any office store or whatever, and you can get some inexpensive things. You can save so much money with a 3-ring binder. I already had a 3-ring hole punch. So again, it saved me a lot of money and a lot of time. The most money I would say you would spend for a project like this is the printer ink and the paper that you would be printing on. But if you have access to get paper and ink, you could save yourself a lot of money, a crap ton of money for technically what we would spend on one planner that is dated for 1 year, or one planner, and we're not able to change the size of that planner because maybe that planner only comes in this one size. So there were some variables that I was thinking about, and like the trade-off for a 3-ring binder versus what we are typically used to. So a lot of things to consider. But if you're not intimidated by the 8.5 by 11 size, and you think it would be something that could ultimately save you money, then I highly, highly, highly recommend that you just watch today's video, watch it all the way through, and leave me your suggestions or comments down below, and let me know what you think about something like this. Is it something that you would consider? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So quite a bit of things going on here. I have this 1.5-inch binder that I got from Staples, Home Depot. I can never remember. I think it was Staples, if I'm not mistaken. I did go ahead and order a Blooms binder. The thing that I liked about the 3-ring binder is that you could get them very like polyesque and like plasticky, or you can get them with like these fun designs or like sleek designs. You can get them with you can get cloth ones, you can get the ones that have the corner protectors or the edge protectors. You can get some that have like a little clip here so you can clip things to the front. There are so many options for the ring binder, and they don't cost too much money. Like, we would typically spend a crap ton of money for a really, really expensive binder. I might pause as my husband is disciplining our son. 1 second. All right, and I'm back. So yeah, I just like the idea that there are so many different options. Well, here we go again. All right, hopefully that will be the last interruption for a while. I just didn't want his voice, as my husband has a very loud and very deep voice. I just didn't want it to radiate because this room echoes like really, really bad. But nonetheless, I like the idea that the 3-ring binder has so many different like styles, but also the fact that it's inexpensive for something that we would typically pay $60 or $70 for. Like, this binder was only like $7. The one that I ordered was only like $10. Like, I just like the option that they're super inexpensive and super easy to set up. So basically, I already showed this in the last video, but basically for this 3-ring binder, I used a leather tool that you can punch holes with, and I basically made a couple holes and strung some elastic through it so that way that I could close the binder. And this is a 1-inch ring binder, so you'll see that it is not super thick whatsoever. It's very slim, and still you can, pick it up with ease. You can toss it around a little bit. You can still maneuver with holding this binder. I think that if you go up to 1.5 inches and then the further you go up, it'll get cumbersome. I think a 1-inch is a soft spot, and if you don't need a whole lot, you can even go smaller than that. I have seen some that have like micro rings for the 8.5 by 11. So there are quite a few options that you can do. Okay, so what I liked about this that made this like so fun to set up in the first place is that basically all the inserts that I used free 99, free, free, free. And like, if you're like me and you are tired and sick, or you're sick and tired of spending money for stuff that you don't think is going to work somewhere along the line, you thought it was everything, and then you figure like, this ain't working, this I don't like this. This was free, and I feel zero guilt behind it. Zero guilt. And let me tell you why. I feel zero guilt because it was free. And if I don't like a particular insert, the website had a bunch and I could just go find one and print it. Or if I don't like the color that I printed out originally, I go find one in a different color and print that one out. So I just like that. I like the option. And if you're not familiar with the website, I'll fill you in. Scattered Squirrel. Scattered Squirrel. Scattered Squirrel. I'll even link it in a description down below. But Scattered Squirrel was where I got all of my free printables and Day Designer. Now, some of the inserts that I have from Day Designer, I've already had them for like a few years, so I didn't have to find them. They aren't, let me just rephrase, a slew of them are not available on their website anymore. So I'm pretty sure they changed a lot of things, but for the most part, a slew of them are not available on their website anymore. I don't know if they're going to bring them back. However, what I will say is that I'm really thankful that I was able to get them before they changed everything or before they took them off. But nonetheless, everything in here was free and a lot of the things I already had. So I feel really good about that too. So yeah, I made a cover page in Canva. This is the same cover page that I made for my Agenda 52 ring binder. I don't think I shared that one with you, but you'll probably see it in a future video whenever it resurfaces back into my life. But I made this cover page, the same one, same color, same everything, for my Agenda 52 binder. And all I did was go back in, recreate the same image but change the wording from notes to agenda and take away the year, and yeah, basically have a cover page. So I did that for the front and also the back. So as you can see, the front and the back now resemble like a notebook. Okay, so what is in this binder? So I showed you guys what was in my home binder, a lot of home-based stuff. And so far, I think it is really, really good because me and my husband, we have started using it. And I just was like, oh, this is going to be like, he was already used to a system like that. So the fact that we now have a home planner that we both can log our stuff and put our stuff in there is wonderful, because now we're not asking each other a bunch of questions and then forgetting. So great. But if you just want something for yourself, I wanted to share this with you. So like I said, the first page is a cover page. And then I kind of messed up the rings on this binder because I kept opening it and closing it a crap ton of times, and then a few times, like I kind of jacked it up. But nonetheless, I have one from Bloom's that I can't wait to get. I got a lot of these like double-sided pockets. I ordered these. They were tabbed, but I cut the tabs off because when I got them, they came kind of bent. So I cut the tabs off. I didn't need the tabs anyway. But I do have like these folders. I have 2 in the front and then 2 in the back. I want to say 2 or 3. I have 3 in the back because they're holding extra bits and bobs. So like, I don't have anywhere to store the extra pages right now. And so I just kind of use these folders to store extra things. So that way it's still pretty compact, but everything just stays together and I don't have to go searching for other stuff. Like when I was using a personal size ring binder, I would have to store them in a box, then put them away, then go find them. Like at least with folders like this, you can stick everything in them and yeah, you'll have them available to you. And yeah, so first pocket has really nothing but like these little tab things. And then this one, I'm still working on this. I'm still working on my home binder, but what I ended up doing was printing out some stuff that I want to move over into that binder. So I have this password log, and me and my husband, we're going to sit down, we're going to put our passwords for some of the things that we have on here. And then that way, if we need to get the password for that, we'll have it. But I just stuck it in here, and I wanted to share with you that some of these inserts, because like I said, they were free and they're pretty good. Like this says website, username, and password. They're basic. That's what I love the most about it, is that it's really, really basic and doesn't require a lot of thought process. It's colorful, so you still get a little bit of color and fun with it. But this is the website. I hope the camera will pick up on it. Scattered Squirrel. I'll link the website down below, but it's Scattered Squirrel. I printed it front and back. There's 2 sheets. So 2 sheets printed front and back. And all I did was use my 3-ring hole punch to basically punch some holes, and I just slid it in the front pocket here until I'm ready to use it. So that's basically all that I did for that. I like this because if you don't want to print on like cheap computer paper, the paper that I'm using is like the bright white. I think it's a 96 bright for the HP. I told you guys I get the subscription. I get the ink and the paper subscription from HP, so I don't really have to worry about the fact that, you know, I won't have paper or ink. They'll always supply me with the tools that I need, so I wasn't worried about it. But you can print on whatever kind of paper that you want to. So if you want to print on the Kikuyo business paper, you can do that. If you can find some paper that is 8.5 by 11, like any good paper that you can find that's 8.5 by 11, you can print on that also. So just want to throw that out there. It saved me a lot of time because I didn't have to print, then cut, then punch. It was print, then punch. Like, I can't get over how easy and simple it was. I printed for a few hours at the end of yesterday. I punched everything today for like an hour and a half, assembled and punched everything for like an hour and a half. Super easy from what I would have done if I would have print like personal size ring inserts. I get that you can print on personal size paper and that can save you a ton of time, but my printer won't do that. Like, it'll print A5, but it won't print personal. So I would have been cutting and printing, and yeah, it would have been too much. But I like this. So yeah. And then, so I decided that I was going to set it up for October. So I have all of 2026, and then I have the end of 2025. So what I did is I put in 2025's overview, and then I also have 2026 on the website. When I first did the home binder, she did not have the 2026 stuff yet, or at least I didn't see it, but she does have like one, and she has many different collections. Like, she has a black and white collection where you can get like all your stuff in black and white. And then I think this one was like Coastal Dreams. I can't remember what collection it was, but I think it was like Coastal Dreams or something like that. She has the 2026 in one collection dated for you. So I printed out the 2025, and then I printed out the 2026. And then I printed out, there are different variations for like your yearly overview. So the one that I showed you for the home binder looks different, but this one is like you have all the months, then all the days in that month, and then you have your special dates, like a line for special dates. You have top 3 for what you want to accomplish this year, like your top 3 things, and then you have a little space for notes. The only thing I don't like about this insert is like this little weird box here in like the top 3. But again, you can cover this, or you can find a different printable that suits your needs. She has a basic one, like the one that everyone is pretty used to. She has one like that, but it's to each his own. I wanted to try something different, so I printed this one instead, because I don't use them a whole lot. And then the next page that comes with that page is this note page, and that's where you can do like your extra stuff. So if you run out of space for like your special dates and whatnot, you can use this page to basically write all of that stuff. And it's just a grid page. I love this. Her grid is not too dark, and it's pretty decent sized grid. The margins are a little big for what most of us are used to, but granted, this is 8.5 by 11, so there's enough space in here. There's a lot of space in here, and the grid is not too dark and it's not too faint. You can still see what the heck you're doing, so I like that. And then the next inserts. So this I got from like the student section. This is supposed to be like the student planner or the academic planner. But what I printed it for is because it's undated and there's no headers. So basically you can use this as like a monthly checklist, or you can use this for like to-do lists, or you can use this for like different projects. You can use this so many different ways, because like you can make a header and then you can make a list. And like I just printed a crap ton of them, maybe more than I needed in this binder, but I printed a crap ton of them because I was like, there's so many things you can do with this particular insert right here. So when you get past all of these, I then have the October through December, and then the actual planner stuff. So October through December for 2025, she had them in different colors. So every month from this year had a different color, and or not month, every quarter had a different color. And so this quarter color is red, and so it is dated. This one is dated. And I liked it because I was like, I hate dating monthlies. I didn't like dating monthlies. I printed the same one for our home binder, although I do have undated calendars for next year in our home binder, but I'm highly considering to reprint them to have the 2026 dates. So maybe they will have, so maybe this one and the monthlies that I have in here will be the same for the home binder, but I haven't really considered whether or not I'll do it yet. It's just a thought right now, but I'm thinking about it. Because it would save us a lot of time from having to date it ourselves. But October through December is dated, and then I do have the dates for 2026 calendars as well. But I like this because these boxes are huge. Okay, these boxes are huge. When I used it for our home planner, when me and my husband started filling it out, I was just like, who would have thought that I would like a size like this when I was someone who was complaining about size in the beginning because I felt like I didn't need a whole lot of space. But this just made everything so different. Like, there's a whole lot of space, but it's not so overbearing to the point where it's just like, you feel like you can't fill it out. Like, I just like the fact that you could stretch out in here. I think that's why I like the classic size for Happy Planner, but this was different because I'm not worried about the disc punch, and plus I have I didn't have to buy inserts for it. These were free. The Happy Planner inserts I have were not free. So I like this. I like that I have a bunch of options. Let's just say that I have a bunch of options, and I probably will never have to buy another planner. But yeah, so I have this. And then what I did is, so you've seen this one in my home planner. It was a different color. It was more like the green inside this binder. I printed this out again. Like I said, she has a bunch of different colors. So you can get this in black and white, or you can get this in red like this. If you get it in black and white, obviously these won't have colors. They'll just be the words. But I printed this one out in red, and I showed it before. It's just a week on one side, and then you have your breakup here, so places to go, people to see, things to do, and special reminders. I printed at least 5 weeks, so front and back, and then the last week is just just the week, and then the back of that is blank. And then I printed out, so I did download quite a few of the different daily options that she has, but I printed out the day on one page because I wanted to try this out. So I like this because, again, like the student planner, you have your check boxes over here. So you can actually break up your day. You can break up your AM routines, your PM, your afternoon, your PM, and you can make one a tracker. I mean, like, this is a good layout. Like, I like the flexibility with this. You have a top 3 section, and then you have a schedule from 6A to 10P. This is a good chunk of space for a daily. And yeah, I like the fun colors. On the back, instead of printing another daily, I decided to print grid paper. Here, the grid is a little bit darker, but again, not abrasive and still pretty soft, and you can see it, but it's not like, it doesn't look like it will interfere with the ink of your pen or whatever. So I only have 1 week of these because it would be a lot to have like 30 days, but I did print the rest of them and I tucked them into some folders. And then like the rest of the year basically looks that way. And then going into January's is a little different. The colors change. So instead of the dots, you'll have the lines. The font is different, but again, you'll still get the same spacing. And instead of finding like a different weekly that would match, I just went ahead and printed the same weekly again, because I don't care about that, like the colors and stuff matching. But anyway, so I have the rest of the year for this year and then all of 2026. And then I printed out some grid paper. I only printed out like 20 sheets of grid paper. I doubt that I'll need all of it, but I did print out some. And it's just printed front and back. So you can either buy paper if you want, but I just went ahead and printed it out so that everything looked like it matched. And then here are some things that are not in the rings, but also some things that I could use. So these things came from D.I.Y. So in this pocket, I have some ideal weekly sheets. And these sheets are so that you can, if you want to, you can do some morning, afternoon, and evening, like your ideal scheduling. Like if you are working on schedules, I told you guys that I would be working on routines and scheduling and stuff. So I like this. I like that you can at least, set like a schedule, whether you want to do it monthly, every month your schedule changes, or quarterly, or however you want to go about that. I like that idea. I only printed out a few, to just like use periodically, since our schedule will change quite a bit. And then in the back, I have intentional living worksheets. These inserts, again, D.I.Y. These ones just talk about like the different areas, kind of like in the Clever Fox, where you have like your self-care, family and friends, your time, money and energy, fun adventures, personal growth. And it's just like something, it asks you questions, and you can sit down and you can think of 3 things in those areas that you want to write about. And it's just a good reflection to have throughout the year. So yeah. And then I have the monthly review pages. So every month I have enough for the whole year of 2026. So if you want to do some monthly review and reflections, you have these pages here that I printed out from D.I.Y. I'm not sure if these pages are on their website anymore. So yeah, but I would definitely check if you want them. Just check and see. And then the back of that, I have the quarterly review. So if you don't want to do monthly, or if you do want to do monthly, you can do quarterly, and you can look over how you have tackled, you know, the quarter. So say this is the fourth quarter, you want to do a review. It's just like check in with yourself with self-care, family and friends, time, money, fun adventures. The same thing as the the same thing as the intentional living worksheet. If you want to check in with yourself quarterly like this, you can do it here as well. And let's see, slide it back in there without bumping you. The next worksheet, or the next inserts that I have, is the rest of the dailies for October. So I just have like the rest of the 31 daily pages, and that is it. And then it just goes into the cover page. I wanted to share this with you all because it was so inexpensive, so like different from anything I've ever shared, and it sparked a lot of creativity because like I was able to choose a lot of the elements. Like if you want something that is super customizable, like I like the fact that the website has so many inserts, from home management to creating a binder for flipping food and like just like a meal planner, like all the things, gardening, health and wellness, self-care, all it, like there were so many different things on that website. I could go on for days and days. She also has cover pages for a lot of the different collections that she has, as well as dividers and extra pages. So if you just find a collection that you really like, you can print out that entire collection, and you can change the collections yearly or monthly or whatever the case may be. But I liked it. So I like this idea a lot. So what have I done with the extra pages that are not in this binder? So I bought these folders. Originally, I bought these folders to go in this binder. They were about like $7, but they don't fit. They're a little too long for the actual binder itself. Like if I put them in, they're going to hang out. If I put them in, they're going to hang out to like right there. So they don't necessarily fit this particular binder. However, I think they will fit my home binder downstairs, like my home planner. I think they will fit that because that one is much wider due to the fact that they have larger rings. But I'm just gonna keep them on the back burner. And what I think you could do with something like this is, if you want to just do month to month or quarter by quarter, you can section them out. So you can like put all of quarter one in this. They don't have to be these particular folders, but they can be folders that you sort your year out in. So you can put all your pages for quarter one, all your planning pages in here for quarter one, quarter 2, 3, and 4, and then that way you have your quarters ready to go, and all you have to do is grab your folder. You could put all your extra bits and bobs in another folder, like all your note pages or activity pages, trackers that you're going to be using for whatever quarter, and all you have to do is refill one binder or one folder with your activity pages. And that's how you can organize your 8.5 by 11. And this one, I just have the rest. I have some more weekly pages for 6 months. This has at least 6 months of extra weekly pages. So if I want to continue on, I can print 6 months more, but I don't think I'll need it. But anyway, I hope you guys got a lot of inspiration from it. I hope that it ignited some ideas, some money saving ideas for you. If you think that this is something you're interested in, I'd love to hear your opinions about it down below. Like I said, it is something completely different than what I've ever shown on my channel, and it's not a size that I've ever talked about really. So if you think it would be something that you're interested in, I would love to know. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye, loves.